Hello and welcome. Welcome to Espouse Entropy, just another dude on YouTube making some noise and hoping for the best. Today's rant or thought piece or whatever you want to call it, rambling of a lunatic, is about the current fighting within the Republican Party, as we have with Trump coming an almost flip flop of the party, or it's the political lines have been redrawn, and I think that's part of the reason why we had so much chaos. Is because for so long it was the Democrats being the party of the low class and the middle class against the Republican Party, which is mostly the middle class, the high class, and the upper middle class. I mean, and that whole dichotomy, or that whole is that a dichotomy? It sounds like one. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to sound smarter than I am. But that whole state of being has been flipped on its ear. As now, the Democrats are the party of the uber wealthy, the elites, and the very low. Now, you can argue if they actually are the party of the low class, that they simply use them as pawns and all their policies and don't actually work for them, and they're low information voters, so they don't know any better. I don't know, but just suffice it to say that the political lines have been redrawn, and this is why there's been so much turmoil, because the foundations of our government for the last 50 years were built upon these ideas, and now everything's being changed, everything's in flux. It's a scary time. It's a scary state of being, especially with the internet and its effect on the political and media establishments. So we have a lot of fighting, and there's that leak Mike McCarthy video where he essentially says is that McConnell wanted to kick Trump to the curb because, as you know, this or that he actually used the Capitol riot as a thing, gamesmanship against Trump, which is I guess all that my theory first hot second there that McConnell was really on our side playing the bad guy. He was pretty much full of shit now. Not as smart as I think I am. It is a strange occurrence that this video came out now, but there it is, and I don't really know what to say about it. They really they didn't get Trump in the impeachment, and now who knows, he's gonna be running probably 2024, and we have the midterms, and we have Pelosi doing her little fake anger thing after losing the impeachment vote, which was funny to watch. And as a dude just sitting here talking to you, it's hard to really come to terms with everything. I mean, I'm constantly, as I'm doing this, I'm constantly like, oh man, this is so much. I'm trying to factor it out to give a clear, concise. Okay, here you go. We have Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro, who I don't hate, but I kind of dislike him. His weakness, I think his most glaring weakness is that he believes in his own intelligence far too much. He believes he's smarter than everyone else, and thus, if someone does something tactically wrong, they're a moron. Tactically, in a political sense. And I think that's really because of Ben being a small man, and as they say, high school never ends. I thought maybe having a couple kids, a wife might, calm him down a bit. I guess he is calming down a little bit. But that small man's complex has, instead of being in other ways, it's just purely on his intellect. Which he is, he's not dumb. He's a pretty smart guy, but he's no genius. He's no Einstein. He's not coming up with some revolutionary things. He's just a regular kind of a above average guy. That's it. I know people. Oh, he went to Harvard. Harvard's full of shit. It's not about the intellect. Is something that is overrated, in my opinion. Even though I try to be smarty pants at times, but I'm in that same boat where I'm just a little bit above average. That's it. But I try not to. I guess Ben really needs to lift weights. That's what he needs to do. Maybe he'd have some sense when he actually became strong. I guess that he never became strong at all. So I guess that's left a lasting impression on the psyche or something. I'm psychoanalyzing him like I know, but I don't know. This is just some guy's opinion. That's what irks me about Ben. His whole thing, there seems a streak of cowardice in the things they say and do. Like they're trying to play the middle now. It's like they're trying to play games. I don't like that. I think that's the fundamental thing is they play games. I think the reason Ben plays games, as I stated before, is because his over estimation of his own intellect. But to say the truth, no more games. That's exactly I don't want to play games. I can play games. I can do it well, and I don't like myself when I play games. So I try to be honest and let the chips fall as they may, like everyone should do. But everything's so overly saturated politically that everyone's playing games. It's like oh god, makes me want to vomit. So let me get back before what Ben Shapiro's point was is that that the Trump did bring out bring out people for the Republicans higher, but that he also brought Democrats higher. And his proof for this was that there were 80 million votes for Biden, which I would remind Ben, well, that's if the million votes are actually indeed legit, which I highly doubt and suspect that many, many, many of them are not, considering there is almost, and especially in the blue states, there is absolutely no accountability at all for voter fraud, at all. You'll never hear anything like that happen. Do you think they go over those votes pretty good, especially in California? How many of those California votes are really legit, especially with a ton of mail-in balloting? How much research was done on how legit these things were? How much ballot harvesting was done, especially in California alone? So that 80 million, yeah, no, Ben, I'm so smart, yeah, but you can't see voter fraud right in front of your face because it's politically inconvenient to you to say so. You might be branded as one of us far right, so you don't want to get there. Crowder's got some faults, but he does have some balls, and he does stand when most of the other people, like Ben, showed weakness. Crowder stood up for the most part. At the end, he kind of bitched out and was kind of like disappeared, but we don't know all the behind the scenes there, so I'll give him the benefit of that for now because he's still fighting a good fight. He has stuff to lose. Like me, I can say what I want. I got nothing to lose. I'm on zero. So, as Jordan Peterson would say, I'm zero, so I don't have nothing to lose. Carter's got some stuff to lose. He's got a lot of money coming in. A lot more than probably I'll ever get. And he has people he's responsible for. And more than, how many he's got working for him? 20 people now, I guess, or something like that. Plus a wife and 2 babies on the way. So, and he's fighting the fight. That's pretty ballsy. But see, Crowder's what Ben could have been in a way because Crowder was a weak comedian type guy, but he started working out and he's pretty buff. He's not athletic. That's the thing. Oh, he's not athletic at all. He doesn't have the gift. So, but he got more of an idea. He worked it, so he has some idea of strength. In a subjective, figurative way, I guess you'd say. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know. I don't know these people. I'm just going off from what my own personal interpretation of their just a feel, I guess. I don't know. It's nothing analytical about it. Just my personal view. So let's bring this back around. So did Trump bring out the base and then Biden bring out his base higher because of Trump being so raucous? Well, but the only reason Trump is so what's his name is because the media are going after him so bad because he fights against them and they're dying. So I mean, you know what they say about a dying animal. So you know what I mean. So I don't know. I don't really believe that Biden got the 80 million at all. So it's like I do think Trump has his flaws. He has many flaws, but I think for the most part he really tried to do what he thought was best for America, and he would definitely not go with the common paradigms. He would break those things left and right. he did not care for common the elites um, thought of how things should be. That he just went, and that's what It's funny because people for a long time saying that exactly what people wanted, but when we finally get here, so many people were like, I don't like it. But if Trump was given, let's say he was given a fair shake in the media, he would be the most popular president there ever was. But since he's not, and the internet, big tech guys didn't give him a fair shake either. He's probably one of the most divisive presidents there ever was. I don't know. It's a very interesting time to be in, but it's also interesting, but also very. It's like a playoff game. Is what it feels like. We're in the playoffs, and every single win or loss of down is like big. So it's like winning to losing. It's everything's so intense. It's like, oh gosh. I guess the best case is to go live in the woods, But just don't even read the internet. Go build a log cabin somewhere by yourself, and don't even have the internet. Just maybe bring like some movies, old movies for the end to watch every once in a while. Just live out your days. I guess that's truly hiding away from the world. But it does sound really romantic right about now. What a grand notion that would be. Go live in Alaska. Go somewhere really far away and just have a cabin. Hunt for your food and live off the grid. No more having to deal with any of this nonsense. No more Black Lives Matter. No more racism or systemic racism or feminism or any kind of ism. No communism. No socialism. No nothing. Just by yourself. Free. Sounds so nice. Though I don't think I could personally survive that. I could kill the things, but I don't have the heart to clean them. So, to cut them, to mutilate their bodies is too much for me. I could kill them pretty easily. It's them or me. I gotta eat. I wouldn't feel too bad. But the cleaning part, I don't know if I had the balls to do. I mean, if I was starving, I could, but having to actually choose to do that, I don't know if I got that within me. I can do, I can. I tried my hands at planting and crops and such. I am not a farmer. Everything I planted died, except I got some grapefruit and orange trees. Okay, I went on a tangent, and I apologize, but, it's hard to stay focused for me. Everything, not focused, compartmentalized. Everything, for me, there is no such thing as a compartmentalization, so everything affects everything, so it's hard for me to stay in a linear, coherent fashion that other people can easily understand. Not that I'm a genius or something, but I'm just, that's the way I'm wired. I wish to say, I want you all to think that it's because I'm a genius and you should give me money just because I'm a genius, but I'll take what I could get. Now, the bases with Biden and Trump. You got all that corporate money, especially the corporations. I wonder if anyone's done a study, just the size of the corporation, the amount of the GDP the corporations currently have. I wonder what the graph would look on that. Or corporations, you got to assume that they're getting bigger and bigger and they hold more sway than ever. And these multi-conglomerate companies with their really inefficient boards and this and that. That's why I'm amazed that these corporations can still have any profit. Because it seems such an inefficient structure of the corporate model, but yet it seems to be working for them. But I guess you can argue the reason it's working is because they screw out other people. That they're not. The only reason they are succeeding is because corporations are, in essence, screw out other people. But without the corporations and their giant amounts of capital, there would be, who knows what the world would be like. I guess different competing financial theories. I never much cared for corporations personally. I've worked at a couple and I always hated it with a passion. Just the rigidness of it and the culture of it. It's like, because I'm too out of the box. So for me, it's always like trying to hide my true self, not to break the rules, get fired. Which eventually I always make some stupid mistake and get my ass fired for something. It's never for like tardiness or I don't show up for work and all like that. It's always because my personality and my thoughts and views are too outside the common view, I guess. And there's that vibe. I don't know. Enough about me. I'm being really narcissistic today because I've been going off. I apologize. But back to Biden and the bases. I think that's a really important point. It's hard. But you can't know. That's the problem. You can't know that just how much of Biden's support was actually legitimate. Because maybe Ben Shapiro should have put it more as Trump might bring out the Republican base, but he also aligns the power structures of the world against himself. Instead of the simplistic way of saying, oh, that drives out Biden's base, which I don't think it does. I think it aligns the power bases against him. And that is what the GOP establishment and Ben Shapiro really are railing against. They're afraid of going against the power bases. Yeah, I think that is a better way of thinking about it. Don't know if I'm right, but you feel free to comment and let me know. But I think that is a good original thought there. Yeah, because fundamentally, with the global economy, there are power bases that are global and all have global interests. And Trump being a purely America First candidate, especially fighting China, Europe. Well, not Europe per se, but the power bases within China and Europe and the United States. The interests of the elite and the really powerful. And that Trump they were afraid of Trump becoming I don't know what. Because in a sense, yeah, maybe that's it too, is because they were afraid, because Trump is not an ideologue, that by being pushed by the will of the people, that it could end in a bad place for them. So it conflicts with their interests, and that's why they're so aligned against him. It does make a certain amount of sense in my mind. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking right now. So feel free to add your 2 cents. I know it took me a long roundabout way to get here, and I apologize for that. But I did get here. I want the points for that. So feel free to comment and tell me how I'm wrong, I'm right, or anything. Since I'm at 0, I will definitely answer everyone's questions. I'll even make videos about questions for people. I'll even go live at some point too. Just even though maybe I'll have one dude. It's like, hey, what's up? I'll take it. Okay, fellows, I'll see you on the next one.